Yeah. Okay, so this is a little interview that I'm doing with one of our learners. This is Holly, who has done, thank you, who has done 6 hours with me. We're recording this in mid-March, with still a month to go of the current lockdown in 2021. Holly has done 6 lessons with me, 12 hours, and nothing since January the 4th. So we're 2 months and it'll be over 3 months without a lesson. She has a theory test booked, had one booked for January, but it's now been put back to the middle of May, which is very frustrating. Holly is probably one of those learners that comes along once a year, if you're lucky, who is just a natural driver. So from that point of view, she is fairly, you are, you know, I'll say, you can't compare yourself to anybody else, I can. And you just get it, which is, you know, in some ways a little bit, well, it's very unusual because most people do not get it as quickly as you do. You know, the fact that we've been across, the last lesson we did was going across the Sandygate roundabout under the M5. And I can recall virtually saying nothing at all as you went across there. You know, you just did it yourself, which is just about unheard of. Anyway, that's the preamble. What we're going to do on this little session here is I'm just asking Holly basically how she came to choose us, and she ended up with me because it could have been somebody else as a driving school, and how she feels she's getting on with me as an instructor and the structure of the lessons. So do you want, I know I've given you these questions ahead of, so at least they're not a sudden thing for you. You've got hopefully some idea of what you're going to say. So have you got something prepared as to what you want to say?
I haven't really got anything prepared. I've had a brief look at the questions, so we'll just...
That's fine, good, absolutely fine, no problem with that. Right, so the first thing was basically how you came across us, and what else? I need to look at my notes, why you went with us, and did you sort of look around a bit before you made your decision?
Yeah, I think the way we found you was on Facebook. When I was looking to start driving, my parents put like a recommendation thing on Facebook asking,
all right,
which driving schools are the best, and Training Wheelz came up like a lot. So I think we mainly decided to go with you guys due to the high amount of recommendations.
Right.
There were a few others that we compared as well.
I'm sure there were. Yeah.
Yeah, because my brother went with a different driving school, so obviously we compared Training Wheelz with that one. But yeah, Training Wheelz came out on top.
Well, we don't need to mention any names, and I know who that other one was. And my guess is that that one, being a sole trader, probably was quite booked up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, and that person is, I know him very well, and he recommends people to us as well because he knows he can't fit them in. So. You know, you'd have done just as well if you could have got in there, but I'm very grateful that you did end up with us. So in terms of the money that you're paying out, do you feel you're getting value for it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, compared to other driving schools, I think the price is about right. Especially at the rate that I'm progressing, I feel like I'm definitely getting my money's worth. I don't think anyone in my family expected me to improve so quickly.
Yeah. Good. Is there anything particular, or any things in particular that makes you feel that you're getting the money worth, or making you think that you're enjoying your lessons?
Well, one big thing is the Theory Test Pro app. I know my brother didn't get the opportunity to have access to that with his driving school, so that's a big thing. Also, I really enjoy being challenged well, in anything. So you challenge me a lot in my lessons, and I really quite enjoy that.
Right. Can you give any examples of that?
Like in some situations that I haven't done before, you'll ask, do I want your input in it, or do
Right.
I just want to try things by myself? And I generally say I want to try it by myself. Because yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, and I quite
Yeah.
enjoy
And does that normally go well?
that. It depends. I think so. I don't crash, so that's a good thing.
Glad about that. I'd not be a bit much if I let you do that.
So yeah, I think nothing goes drastically wrong. Obviously, there's minor errors and things that I could have done better by
Yeah.
doing certain things.
Right. Once we've had a go at something, what happens then?
Um, we have a brief chat about it, and generally you'll give me the chance to try it again by myself, or I'll ask you if I can, based on the small amount of feedback that you've given, and then you give me more feedback based on the second time, and if I really need help, then you'll generally guide me through how it should be done.
Okay. So let's just a little think about the feedback and how does that happen? How do we do arrange that part of it? So we do something and we have a chat about it. So what form does the feedback take?
Well, it's verbal feedback. You'll ask me how do I think it's done, um, and yeah, I'll speak to you about it, and um, yeah, you'll give me maybe a few tips, and then yeah, I'll try it again, and then if needs be, you'll give me quite a few more tips.
Right. Okay. So whose input to the feedback comes first?
Mine, I think, if I can remember. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
mine. Yeah.
Well, that's the intention of it anyway. Could you think of any reason why I do it that way round rather because you know I'm not an instructor. You know, that term is antiquated, and most instructors are no longer instructors because when I started doing this, it was very much you told people what they'd done wrong and what they needed to do to improve, whereas all the answers are between your ears. You know, really, it's just trying to get those answers out from you. Um, do you think that is
Yeah,
working?
I think that's really important because you generally learn from your mistakes when you pick them up yourself. I find that for me personally, anyway. Um, yeah, and it's good if you know that you've done something wrong, that you can recognize it, and that you know that we're capable of recognizing it, and we know that we have done something that's not as safe or correct as it.
Right. Yeah. And do you feel that most times when we do this, that you generally know when something's not quite right and you know what to do next time?
Yeah, I can generally tell. I mean, there might be the odd thing that I can't recognize, but and I think I can generally um like find a solution to it, but sometimes I do need the input from you to make it more clear.
Yeah, I think you're being a little bit modest here because you do understand and know most of the time. I think it's usually, from my point of view, it's just plugging gaps in your knowledge
Yeah,
more than anything else. It's not very much of telling you what you need to do. It's more confirming what you know already.
yeah,
Yeah. Right. And you feel quite comfortable about relationship within the car, the being that you feel your views are valued and your input is valued,
yeah.
and
I think it is quite mutual.
you
Um,
feel free
oh, I think you've broken up a little bit.
to say things. Oh, right. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So you just, yeah. So you feel there's sort of a sort of an equal relationship in the car.
Yeah. I don't feel like I don't know how to explain it really. It's not like there's a hierarchy. I feel comfortable making mistakes and saying how I feel and what I think and things like that.
Well, that's great. But I'm glad to hear that, because that's what I'm trying to aim for. That you feel able to make as much of a contribution as I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Right. Well, thank you very much indeed for that.
Thank you.
Right.